Hello, this is Danny Rams from Maverick Spirit Astrology. I'm just going to go into uh, the chart today that I had picked was Lucia dos Santos, and she is the 10-year-old little girl that saw the Virgin Mary. On the date was May 13th, 1917, and I had put in her birth chart. And I put in every day that the Virgin Mary had asked her to come. This is a Lady Fatima, I believe this is a story. Miracle of the Sun. I just wanted to put this in here that the reason I was drawn to this is because this is like a miracle that had happened, and it has a lot to do with spirit, energy, soul, mind, body, how we do all of our logical thinking, along with like our transformations, as well as like, our spirit has a lot to grow as well. Like I said, the spirit is that direct tie to God, and then, or source energy, or universe, however you use this spirit cord. And then your soul is that aura that you create here on earth. Okay, so going into this 10-year-old little girl, she sees the Virgin Mary. She has two other kids with her that are Francisco and Chiquita. I believe that's their names. And they were younger. They were like 8 and 6. All right, going off of memory here. Sorry. So I just basically picked her out of the crowd because she was actually the one that lived the longest, and I would be able to see transits, but I actually really wanted to see the transits from her, because we get to see how she evolves through this. And she actually lived till she was like 97 years old, and that was like one of the premonitions that the Virgin Mary had given her on the second time that she had met her. So the Virgin Mary sees her May 13th, 1917. She says, "Please visit me, pray the rosary every day." Then she says, "Meet me here every month on this day," which is the 13th, for the next 6 months, for 6 months time. Okay. And then, so basically May, June, July, August, September, October, 13th of every month for that year at around noon, I put out all those transits into Luisa's chart. So that's what you'll see here. And then she is an Aries sun in the 6th house, and a Cancer moon in the 9th house, so on. Her ascending is, or her rising sign, however you put it, is in Libra, 23 degrees starting at. I did want to go through this really quick, the awakening house system that I had put out, as far as like what the houses mean in a spiritual sense. Okay, when you're doing a spiritual awakening, this is kind of like where the transits are taking you, and I wanted to show you how the transits actually work through your birth chart. The sun, again, all the way down to Pluto. I had given information about how those act in a previous video. The North Node is your purpose in life, your purpose to be here. And the South Node is your comfort zone. Chiron is the wounded healer. And I did include Lilith because she is the she-devil. No, it's because the suppressions of her parents, and of the suppressions of even like ego, I would even say, is because you have to prove to people, even as a child, like, you're suppressed already as a child. As a 10-year-old child, people are thinking you're a liar. Like, this is something that was like kind of important. And in her natal chart, I wanted to show you really quick, her Lilith is in her 9th house. It's in her faith house. It's also in Gemini, so there's a little bit of duality there, right? But there's also Gemini, meaning it is the mind planner. Her Lilith was suppressed in that portion. She was probably even thinking to herself, is this real? is this real? I should have faith in this. I saw it myself. Like, there is, you know, there's going to be a little bit of a duality to that. She's 10 years old. She knows yes and no's, and, you know, she knows a lot of the information that she gets through her physical senses, and now she's learning through other senses at 10 years old, which, like, is not a normal, you know, thing to go through. I shouldn't say normal. I should say it is not a yeah, I don't have a word right now, sorry. It's not a typical thing to go through. It's not. I didn't go through it. Maybe I didn't, I don't remember, but that's possible too. Anything's possible. Okay, so I did want to go into her chart. Venus is her ruler, her chart ruler, and I wanted to take note that it is in her 4th house in Aquarius. Aquarius is the water bearer. It is known as the one that takes that long journey alone and comes back with that barrel of water on their shoulders to provide for the village, basically, right? I just wanted to put that out there. Her Chiron's there too. So her wounded healer, something she cannot heal herself that needs to be healed. What is that? It's also in her South Node. Her comfort zone is there. And it's her 4th house, her roots, her inner energy, what she was taught to believe in, and then here on out. So I wanted to go in through her houses really quick. I have the self-awareness house being her mind boss and soul builder. Her virtue house, the 2nd house, has soul builder and spirit planner. Her 3rd house has logical thinking. 3rd house of logical thinking is the spirit planner. With her planets, I act and I evolve in them. And also her body boss. What is her physical body doing here? Why is the boss here? Well, we will find out shortly, right? So the logical thinking of her physical self. The final yes or no of her physical self. What does she physically do? She tells everyone. She's speaking. She's using her logical thinking. She's using her skills and her mindset here. And her spirit plan was to come here and do this. And that kind of ties that cord to God, because her spirit planner is here. Her Sagittarius is here. And it's in her logical thinking house. And Spirit is like, this is the plan. This is where I have tied your knot to you. This is what I have for you. It's not the spirit boss, but it is the spirit planner. So I act and I evolve are here. Her inner energy is her body boss and her mind builder in her 4th house. And again, she has I love here. She has the planet I love here. She has the wounded healer here. She has her South Node. Her comfort zone is here. So that you're already going to see that there is a lot of give and take going on here. It's like, why am I wounded? What is going to wound her heart, her love in this house of roots and of her inner energy? Like, what is going to spark there? It's going to be her mind builder and her body boss. What is she physically going to do on Earth? And what is her mental energy, her social energy going to build? What is this Aquarian going to do here? Okay. She has her joy and vulnerability house is the 5th house, Pisces. Her soul planner connects from 0 to 28 degrees. And she also has Mercury retrograde here and Saturn. So it says, I think, but I'm paused. Like, I am going to pause or move slowly. This is not like a I think quickly. Her soul planner in her joy and vulnerability house is very important here. The soul planner is kind of like the one that is telling you this is what you signed up for before you came here, and this is what you're going to sign up for after. I don't know what that is, sorry. Let's go on to the 6th house. The timekeeper, the analytical thinking, the soul planner, and spirit boss live here, and so does the sun. I am. Aries says 1 degree. 1 degree is literally that infant degree of the I am is so new. And in the 6th house, that day-to-day is routine is like something I've never done before. Basically, she's doing something here day-to-day, and it's something new. But it's also Pisces 29 degree. So it's starting in that soul planner house, and it's moving into the spirit boss saying I am. So from that soul planner house to that spirit boss, she's going to say I am. And I think that that's really cool, that is actually opposite Virgo, because Virgo is the body planner and she's soul planning here. So her physical body is actually doing her soul work and her spirit work for her on a day-to-day. That's pretty cool. The 7th house, we have Aries in Taurus, and that's going to be unity and shadow work. No planets here, but she has her spirit boss and her bodybuilder here. Her physical body is the architect here. So what does she physically need to do in this unity? She needs to share her word, and she needs to share, like, it's her voice. So she needs to share her word. And Aries, she needs to share her thinking. She needs to share her actions. She needs to share her story, basically. What is it that happened to her and her friends, and what, this Taurus is throat chakra, it's voice, it's, it usually has to do something with that origin. And I think it's really important to note that she actually did use her voice and did use her mind in Aries. She really did use this part of her to break free and understand that this is her shadow work, that, if I keep this on the inside, it's never going to do anybody good. Like, people should know about it. And it wasn't originally her plan to tell everybody. But her spirit boss and her bodybuilder are here. So her spirit boss is like, yes, you are. And her bodybuilder, or her architect, her physical being on this planet, it was like, I can do it. If I need to put in the hours, if I need to put in the days, if I need to put in the time, I'm going to do it. Because Taurus is all about slow, steady, as well. So I thought that was really cool. Her 8th house is in Taurus and Gemini, and this is her transformation house. Her bodybuilder and her mind builder, her mind planner are here, and her planet is Pluto. I empower. So Taurus, again, chakra, Gemini, mind. It's just like bodybuilder and mind planner are here. What is she building? What is she building with her physical sense here in transformations? She is going to age appropriately, but differently, right? Because everybody else's transformations are not going to be that life and death rebirth moment like it was for her. And that's kind of what sparks everything into her 8th house. When we do see the transits roll into there, I will explain that as well. Let's see. So moving on to her 9th house, which is another very important house, is that her faith is here. Her wisdom is here. The long distance travel is here. And this is kind of where the long distance travelers come to her. Her mind planner is here. Her soul boss is here. And she's got Lilith here. Her suppression's here in her 9th house. And that's why I said it was important to note that it is in her faith house. Where does she feel suppressed? Her mother, her moon, her Jupiter, her luck in her own faith, and her Neptune is stationing in this Cancer energy. Cancer is mother as well. So I feel like a lot of that faith-based was from her mother, as well as her energy that goes into her faith, and as well as her you know, Lost Captain at Sea is here. Her Neptune's here. Her Neptune is I dream. And her Jupiter is I grow. And her moon is I feel. And she has that all in her 9th house, faith. Her outer energy is her 10th house here. Sorry. Her 10th house is in Cancer to Leo. It has all of Leo in it. And it is in her North Node. Her purpose in life is to be in the public eye. It's her outer energy that is her reason for being here. Her soul boss and her spirit builder are in this house. And that makes everything understandable, for me at least, is that her soul boss is telling her, this is your root. And her spirit builder is telling her, this is the exact route. Okay? And then her North Node being her purpose here, which is not comfortable for her whatsoever to be here. And then she's just like, I'm here. Like, okay, I'm in the spotlight for everyone to see me. Like, this is huge reputation house, right? It's her outer energy. This is the aura she's giving out to everybody, is that, like, soul boss, spirit builder energy. And I think that that's something to be said about someone who was so young and who was so, her entire life was basically based off of this. Up until 10 years old, she was just a girl living in Portugal. And now she's like, well, now she's known, but like, she dedicated her entire life to her faith. And I think that was amazing. That's an amazing dedication. And to be known for that was even better. Even having the Leo there makes me like laugh a little, because it's like her spirit builder was really like that spotlight. And that Leo pride, loyalty, right? It's all in her 10th house, reputation. And I haven't even gotten into the transits yet. Oh my gosh. So her future house, or what her individual self is in a crowd of people, okay, is all Virgo. It is covered in Virgo. It is the body planner. Her physical sense of being here in the planning house, that organizer, the one of the day-to-day. Her future is based on her day-to-day. Her future senses are based on the day-to-day. And she is part of the collective that is known for the Virgin Mary. So to have the Virgo here is like, it answers all the questions, right? We don't even have to go on anymore. Like, hello. Just joking. So the 12th house is also Virgo, on the last degree of Virgo, actually, the 29th degree, and into Libra, the 22nd degree. So she does have a little bit of Libra in her 12th house as well as her first house. So her first house being self-awareness, and her 12th house being what is unseen to her or unknown to her. It's transcendence. It's the infinite time. It doesn't even keep time. It's the infinite opportunity house. It is the unlimited time house, okay? And she has that from Virgo 29th degree, which is a critical degree. And it was kind of a degree that actually went through with the transits. This is her body planner and her mind boss. So it's funny to me that her physical being is in her 12th house, and her mind is in her 12th house. And she doesn't have any planets there until we get to the transits, which is really cool. Okay, so when we're getting into this, I wanted to go through this really quick. Again, we're putting the fire with spirit, and the cardinal with boss, and the fixed with builder, and the mutable with planner, okay? And this is for the purposes of spiritual astrology. And we're going to go back up in here. So throughout her transits, let me see if I can move this. Okay. Yeah, this is day 1. I should say the first time Mary appeared to her was all Taurus. It was all 8th house energy. Gemini, it was the second time she had visited her in June, and it was all 8th and 9th house, right? And then I'm going to go through this with you, because I actually wrote down The planets in the houses. What does the sun mean? The sun means I am. It was in her 8th house the first time, transformation. It was in her 5th house, I am, faith. I am in her 9th house. Her 10th house was the 3rd visit from Mary, outer energy. She's now getting recognized. She's now having a reputation. She's now having like people coming from all over to see her by the 3rd visit. I am outer energy. I am the future was her 5th time seeing the Virgin Mary. The 12th is, so the sun went into her 12th house, meaning transcendence. I am transcendence. The day of the miracle of the sun, her house, her sun was in her 12th house. These are them. These are the houses. These are the transits, and these are the houses that are hers specifically. So if you really wanted to, you could put these transits into your houses and kind of see where that plays up with you. But for now, this was in 1917. This is October 13th, 1917 transits mixed with her chart. So the 12th house sun is saying, I am transcendence. The day that this beautiful movement in the sky happened with thousands of people witnessing, it was like, I can only imagine. Literally, I can only imagine, because there wasn't like enough visual, I guess, to capture what was actually happening, except for like in the movies, like the movie part where there's like people running. I couldn't imagine it being like that, but I don't know if I would run. I'd probably be like mouth open. Okay, so her moon during all of these transits, her moon goes, I feel. Her moon says, I'm a timekeeper. I'm using my analytical thinking. I feel like my time is important here, and I'm analyzing how to make sure from day to day routine, how am I doing it? She's doing the rosary. She said to do the rosary. She's using that information that she had received, and she's putting it into her day to day. If I do this, the Virgin Mary will come and she will tell everyone I'm not a liar. You know, that's what I'm envisioning. The 7th house, unity. I feel unity. I feel like shadow work needs to be done as well. She's probably having these times where, like, why is nobody else seeing her? Like, we see her, we can hear her. And she's kind of feeling like unity. More and more people are coming to see her. I'm starting to feel that partnership. Even the House of Open Enemies. There was at some point the mayor actually, like, kidnap the kids, but I don't know if that was the movie or if that was like legit what happened. I really have to read into that part. I didn't know about that, so when I saw it in the movie I was like, I don't remember that part. Yeah, so apparently like that could have been some of that part that was happening. I feel transit for the 4th visit was faith. I feel faith. She's starting to feel it. It's in herself. This is in her outer energy by the time she visits her for the 5th time. Outer energy. I feel outer energy. I'm starting to feel you. I'm starting to understand like what's going on, and I understand that like my last visit with you is next month, and like how to prepare for that, and what's your reputation now? Millions of people are coming, you know? Her final visit of the day of the miracle of the sun, I feel the future. I feel as an individual in the future. I feel as an individual to the collective soul of the future. And that was the day of the sun, the miracle of the sun. Her transits for Mercury are, I think. This blows my mind. So at some point there was a retrograde too. So the first time Mary appeared to her, Mary, her Mercury says, I think, 8th house, transformation. I think transformation. Then she says, I think faith. Then she says, I think future. And then she says, I think transcendence by the time it was in her 12th house. Venus, I love. And remember, this is her chart ruler. 2nd house, I wanted to mention. Her 2nd house is also ruled by Venus, because if you go throughout the chart, 2nd house is ruled by Taurus, and Taurus is also ruled by Venus. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. Venus started in her 8th house as Taurus. Her Venus says, I love transformation. Goes to her 9th house, I love faith. Goes to her 10th house, I love this outer energy. Goes to her 11th house, I love the future. Goes to her 1st house, skips her 12th house completely into the 13th, from September 13th to October 13th completely. Venus completely goes fast forward, right? Into her 1st house of self-awareness. I love my self-awareness. I love the understanding that I'm getting of what's going on. She's self-aware. Her spirit boss is self-aware. Her soul is self-aware. Her physical body is self-aware. Her mind is self-aware. The 2nd house, virtue. I love my virtue. I love my self-worth. I have love for myself, and therefore I am. Mars is I act, and from the beginning to the end, it goes from her 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th house. Mars is I act, unity. I act, transformations. I act, faith. I act, outer energy. And that's like kind of how you would read your transits, as well as if you want to go into that spirit astrology with me, into reading your own. We have Jupiter, I grow, and Jupiter takes longer, as I had said before. So I grow. Jupiter is in her 7th house by the first miracle, which is unity. I grow. And then from that time on, it stays in her 8th house, transformation. I grow, transformations, like tons of transformations within the 2 years, actually, that it'll take for Jupiter, or the 1 year that it takes. So it's pretty interesting how much 8th house energy she has in her natal chart, and as well that goes into these transits. Like I kept seeing 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10. And those are like the pretty big houses to, like you have your soul planner there, your soul builder, you have your spirit planner, and you have your body boss. So this is like a physical transformation by the time it comes to the end. Body, mind, soul, spirit. Okay. Her Saturn goes, I achieve, and it goes to her 9th and 10th house throughout her visits with Mary. The 9th house says faith. I achieve faith. And by the time it's in her 10th house, and it's at home at the 10th house is Saturn's happy place. Outer energy. Her outer energy. I have achieved. I am at the top of my mountain and I am screaming, I know I have achieved. I have done this. Long road. It's a long road ahead. And she's only 10. Only 10. It's crazy, right? So Uranus does not move that much, right? We already discovered that. I evolve. Uranus means I evolve, and it's in her 4th house, her inner energy. Her constant change is going to be her inner energy throughout that Uranus transit. She was born with it in her 3rd house, her rapid change of communication and even of siblings and peers like siblings. To go into her 4th house of inner energy and say I evolve has like this huge meaning to it for me. I don't know how to explain it any other way. Like, it is your soul planner house, okay? And then into the soul planner house you have this inner energy, and it's saying I evolve. I'm evolving from this. And that's directly underneath, her Uranus was directly underneath all that 10th house energy. Neptune is I dream, and it's also in her 10th house. It's her outer energy. I dream about this outer energy. I am lost at sea, no compass, but I'm here. That's Neptune. Pluto is I empower, and it's in her 9th house of faith. And I love that. I absolutely love the fact that I empower in her faith house is so, because this is her preacher house. This is like basically her first 10 years on earth were already empowering the soul, the body, the mind, the spirit. And like, that's only the transitions or the transactions, the transits for those months where she saw her. I can only imagine where it would take her, like far beyond. And I'm just like so excited that I got to do this. I really enjoyed doing her chart and finding what I found, and I knew I was going to find something, right? So her North Node, I did want to point out, originally was in her 10th house, okay? Now you see Capricorn is in her 3rd house because it's split, right? Her Capricorn split by degree. So everything that was her South Node, how do I explain this? So her South Node right here is in Cancer, but we know she was born with Cancer North Node, and her Cancer North Node is in her 10th house. And now you see her South Node, that is like the transit is opposite. So her North Node then becomes her South Node in this transit of 10 years, okay? So when you're born, it's going to be about 10 years to the flop, right? So I forget how long it actually takes. It probably takes 20 years, right? I think it's 20 years. I'm going to be off on it. I don't want to put that in stone, but yeah, so her North Node is in Capricorn, or the transit was in Capricorn in her 3rd house, and her 4th house actually holds her South Node. Her purpose in life is her North Node, and it is in the South Node at the time. Do you see what I'm saying? I hope. So I'll just go over here. It'll be easier. So her North Node right here is her Cancer 10th house in the 29th degree again. And it's Capricorn 13th degree in her 3rd house. That's communication. That's logical thinking. And then she has her 10th house here, which is her reputation, her outer energy that she gives to the world. So I wanted to conclude that for my story, my wonderful chart reading. Again, these are already posted on my Instagram as well as my Facebook group page. Comment, like, share, please. I would love to hear your opinion about this reading, if you get anything else. I was going to go deeper into like the degrees and stuff, but I feel like that I'm going to have to leave for another time because I'm already running into like past 30 minutes, which I didn't want to do, but here I am. Important story. So I hope everyone enjoyed this, and please comment, like, subscribe.